Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dudu back at it again with another banging video. In today's video, as you already see by the title, I am going to be sharing 10 things you need to do as soon as you get into the UK as an international student. So some of these things are like mandatory, like you actually need to do them. Some of them are just my suggestions, but it's all things that are going to help you settle down in your first about 3 to 4 weeks in the UK. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you keep on watching today's video. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join this amazing family. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. And without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So one of the first things you want to do, which is number one on my list, is to collect your BRP. A BRP is a biometric residency permit, which is basically a little card, which is your form of ID when you're in the UK. It will have your name, how long your stay in the UK is valid for. So for example, it's a 4-year visa, then it will say 2022 to 2026, and it has that you're allowed to work 20 hours a week and just like basic information about you, and that is your form of ID. It's what will allow you to leave the country and come back, because in your passport it only has that little sticker that allows you to enter the UK for the first time. So yeah, it's a really important document and you need to collect it. So basically, with collecting this document, you have 10 days from the moment you enter the UK. However, because we live in these times, these uncertain times where you may have to have a 2-week quarantine, it is supposed to be 10 days from whenever you're free to move around. So when you received your passport with your visa, you would have gotten a little letter that has like a bunch of information of what to do next, and that letter will have the address of where to collect your BRP. This will probably for most people be their university addresses, because when you did your visa application you would have stated where you want to collect your BRP. So it's either some address like post office or like your university address. You need to take your passport with you as a form of identity and that letter, you guys. So if you're still at home, make sure you carry that letter that came with your passport with your visa in it. And so number two, the next thing you need to collect is your student ID. Now I put this as number 2 because it's something that you will need in the next coming steps to prove that you are a student. So make sure you go to your university and collect your student ID. If you are already collecting your BRP from your university, you will probably have the opportunity to collect them together. So make sure number 2 is that you collect your student ID. Number 3 is get a SIM card, you guys. So I put this as number 3 as well because it's a really important thing. You're going to have to, communicate with people, and also you're going to have to write down a UK phone number in applications and like forms, a lot of forms after this step. So make sure you go out and you get yourself a SIM card. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter which card you get. I don't really have one that I recommend, but there's like Vodafone, O2, EE3. Yeah, just make sure you get that situated, whether you're going to get a student plan or just a regular prepaid system going on. That's just something you want to take care of very early as soon as you get into the UK. Number 4, which is probably the one thing that comes to most people's minds when they think about, oh, I've entered the country. Set up your bank account, you guys. Setting up your bank account is actually quite easy. You just need your confirmation of acceptance of studies letter or your student ID, whichever that bank that you're applying to states that they require. You're going to need some form of identification, so it's probably going to be either your BRP or your passport, and you're going to need a proof of address. Some of the banks that I know are quite good for international students, obviously we all have different needs. Some people want to send money back home, some people are more worried about receiving money from some people at home and whatnot. Like there's different banks that are good for different reasons, but some that I found that are good for international students, which I'll actually read down from here because I don't want to miss anything, are Barclays, HSBC, NatWest, National Wide Flex, and then the others are Santander, Lloyds, Halifax, and there's just so many banks that you can really like apply to, and they're all really good. Just make sure you check their like different terms, and most of them will entice you when you first get your account. Like they'll come with a special or like free this for a month and whatnot. So don't be like fooled by that. Just make sure you pick the account that you think will be best for you. Moving on to number 5, you guys. This one's also a real necessity: registering with a GP, you guys. So you know how when you were applying for your visa, you had to play that international health surcharge thing? This is where it comes to play. You have to register with a GP to make sure you are set up for like your health in case you have an emergency. You have a doctor that you already know, and like you have like one place that will have your medical records. And basically to do this, you go online and you'll search up register for GP, and it will show you, like, it will give you a site where you can add your postcode. I'll try and leave the links to all these things that I'm saying you need to like go there and apply for this in the description. So yeah, so you go to this link, put your postcode, and it will show you a bunch of different I don't know, call them surgeries or hospitals, but wherever they're GPs, it will give you a bunch of different places, and you'll be able to pick one where it's a simple online application where you do your name, and I think they asked for a copy of your identification and whatnot, but it's things that you will already have. And it's really, really important that you do this, you guys, because for example, right now in these awkward times when we had to get like our COVID vaccines, this is how they were able to message me to tell me, it's time for people in your age group to get the vaccine or whatnot, now with the boosters and everything. So it's really, really important that you register with the GP. If you are living near campus or in your university, like somehow really close, there are GPs at specific universities. So that's also something that if you want to like not really do it independently, you want to go to university, is something that you can do. So number 6, you guys, is a bit dependent on where you are in the country, but is to apply for a travel card. If you are in London, for example, I'm in London, I applied for a student Oyster card. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can apply for that. Again, I'll leave the links in the description to where you can like register and apply for all of this. And it's quite a simple process applying for an Oyster card. You just need to link your university portal to that site and whatnot, just for them to prove you're a student, because there's a specific student Oyster card, you guys, and you get discounts. And so yeah, if you're anywhere else, also figure out how traveling goes, whether you need some kind of like rail card or like a bus card or whatever it is. It's just something that's little but will really save you along the way, because you're going to be traveling everywhere, so yeah. Number 7 is sign up to student discount services online. You guys, I feel like this seems like a want and like it's not really necessary, but when I tell you how much it's going to save you, it's really something I recommend you do as soon as you get into UK, so that you don't like spend your money and realize like 2 months later that, oh my gosh, if I'd done this earlier, I could have saved on this and saved on that. 2 sites that I recommend that I personally use are Unidays and Student Beans. They have so many discounts, you guys. Like some of the things are crazy. Like every single thing has a discount, from like food, shopping, sportswear, different services like gym, like every single thing has, like groceries, like everything will have a student discount. I know a lot of people, as soon as they get into the country, they want to buy new phones and whatnot. So before you buy your laptop or buy whatnot, check those sites. They may have discounts. Apple will have discounts like in September or whenever. So yeah, you want to really, really make sure you sign up for those. Again, the sign up is really simple. You have to link it with like your student portal for your university, just to like verify that you are a student, but you don't need anything else. You can actually do this even before you leave your home country, as long as you have access to like your student portals for your university. Number 8, you guys, this one is not like mandatory, but in my opinion it's really, really helpful, and it links with the one just before this, and this is to set up your Amazon account, you guys. So with one of the sites that I mentioned, either Student Beans or Unidays, you can get 6 months free of Amazon, and then after that it will only be 50% per month. And I think it's really important to set your Amazon up, because that's how you can buy different little things that you don't really know what shops to get yet. Like Amazon is online, so you have like, you can search it up and know what to find different room decoration stuff, toiletries, like whatever you want, like it's actually on Amazon. And I know things can get really busy and you don't have time to like, you know, go to the shop or go where, and so it's easy to have like Amazon on hand. So yeah, that's really something that I think it's important to set up as soon as you get here, so like you're not stranded and like you see things that you want and you don't really know where to get them. So yeah. Number 9 is to buy all the essentials that will get you started in the country. So specifically in the UK, I'd say it's a cold country, so depending on where you're from, make sure you know you get your one really good coat, get your really good pair of boots, get your scarf, buy your groceries, just like set yourself up, because trust me you guys, being a student, especially when you first get here, you're so reckless. And not everyone's like this obviously, but it's so easy to get reckless with the money, you know, shopping and whatnot. So it's really important that as soon as you get here, you kind of set yourself up with the basics. You buy proper groceries, you buy proper like cleaning supplies, you buy yourself a good coat. You don't want to be cold when it gets cold just because you spent your money on useless things. So buy yourself like coats and whatnot. And a really important thing that I want to mention here is buy vitamins, you guys. Like I feel like not a lot of people mention this. It's like it's not said enough, but in the UK there's barely sun. Not to like throw you off, but in the winter months there's literally not much sun, so it's really important to get you like multivitamins so that you have like your vitamin D, your vitamin C's and whatnot, just, you know, keep you energized, keep you going and keep you healthy. So another thing that you want to buy or you want to invest in is a good umbrella. Make sure you like invest in a good umbrella. It's always raining, it's just the norm, and so you don't want to be getting those umbrellas that start to like flip over or like, yeah, you know, we don't want that. And you don't want to be caught off guard like when you're like in transit and then it starts raining heavy and you don't have an umbrella, and then you go to a shop and it's like £20 and you're like you don't have that money, you haven't budgeted for that, do you know what I mean? So make sure you get your umbrella really early and like all the little basic things. And finally, number 10, which doesn't really apply to everyone at the point of like setting yourself up in the country, but everyone does get interested in it eventually, is applying for an NI number. So NI number is a national insurance number, which basically allows you to work, and it's like your record of like work and whatnot, how you identify in like the working industry. And very important to note that you should only apply for the NI number when you're actively looking for work. I'll leave the link down below for the application of an NI number, but it is really important, and they stated very carefully that you have to be applying, you have to be actively applying, because they will ask at some point for you to show how, like, where have you applied and whatnot. Are interested in working but you are not actively applying for jobs, do not apply for the NI number yet. Wait until you're actively applying for jobs for you to apply for the NI number. However, with that being said, if you do get a job before you get your NI number, it's okay. As long as you show your employer that, okay, you tell them, 1, you've applied for the NI number, and 2, you show them your BRP, like you're allowed to work 20 hours a week during term time, then that is okay. You will still be allowed to work without having gotten it. Like, that's just something I wanted to put out there, but it's not something you like desperately need to do as soon as you get into the UK, unlike the other 9 things that I mentioned. So you guys, that is it. That is my list of 10 things that I think you need to do as soon as you get into the UK. The first 9 are really, in my opinion, like so important, and are things you should try and do in the first 3 weeks max of you being in the country, because they'll just help you get situated and be within everything you need. I really hope you guys found them useful. If there's anything else you think I left out, make sure you leave it in the comments so it can help other people. So you guys, this brings us to the end of today's video. If you found it useful, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. If you didn't find it useful but you know someone else that can help, make sure you share this video around. And if you've come all the way to the end and you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to join this amazing family. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you are notified every single time that I post a new video. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.